Hey, this is Thad Joyner, and you're listening to What Thad Thinks, the one and only podcast on the interweb focused solely on what I think. Proud that you're listening today. We are powered by Better Beans Branding, your one-stop shop for commercial and residential design, graphics, branding, construction, and remodel. Yes, capable of everything. Thank you for listening. Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to What Thad Thinks, powered by Better Beans Branding. I am Thad Joyner, the host, and who this show is actually named after. I want to thank Better Beans as powering us. You're really the industry leader in branding, in design, interiors and exterior, and remodels for commercial and residential properties. And very proud to have them and to be their president and CEO, and for them to allow me the time to do this wonderful podcast and broadcast out there to really tens and tens of you that are downloading and subscribing each week. But I do want to thank and shout out to our loyal listeners and downloaders. I mean, if we're late by 5 minutes, my phone starts blowing up with texts and wondering where our show is. So, pardon us for our inconsistencies in not being a broadcast company. We're getting better. But do like that we do have some of you that actually find value in this great show that is built around small business leaders and small business owners, and really just getting a great response. So I want to thank each of you for that. And I want to first shout out, if you haven't downloaded Ashley Walker, our graphics expert and director of brand design at Better Beans. She has an awesome webinar that's available both at our website at betterbeansbranding.com. It's on YouTube channel, I believe. But it is a pretty awesome webinar if you want to learn a little something from a pretty dang entertaining and opinionated woman, emphasized there. But she is awesome and really just a expert and savant at what she does. Wouldn't be the same without her around our company, but her webinar was pretty dang awesome. So tune into that. And I also want to shout out to Better Beans, the Better Beans team. Today is a special day for us. We are going to be doing our ribbon cutting this afternoon at 2:00. So just like, just a couple of hours. And I want to, give y'all all the listeners a little bit of a timeline here. Better Beans, a startup boutique branding company. We got started a couple of years ago, really ornately, if you don't know our story. Just basically this team was put together. They were my remodel and design team for new child care centers and restaurants that I was acquiring personally. And when we sold our business, we had owners around the country that kind of wanted me to help them out with how we did what we did. And we, ended up just starting a company. And since then, we have slowly added contractors and people in our business that kind of come on board with us. And then in November of 2019, we made the huge step to hire the entire team, to acquire two of our partners' their primary businesses, and bring everybody into the Better Beans fold. So, for a time, we just had me and Neel as real employees dedicated full time. And then in November, we bought out our partner Jordan, her other company, and brought her own her design company, and brought her residential interior design company into the fold with Better Beans. And we bought Ted Wilcox's sign installation business, and brought that in-house as well. As a part of our growth strategy, we hired a project manager. We brought in Katie Lee as our project manager, brought in Ashley Walker full-time on our brand design and logo design team. and kind of built this awesome team over the course of the holidays. And we signed this new awesome lease for this great office space. You know, a big deal, signed a long-term lease and made these big plans to remodel it, since that's what we do for a living, right? And to brand it, because that's also what we do for a living, and make this incredible conference space so that we could start bringing customers in instead of using shared space. Um, you know, and really just kind of growing up as a company. We kind of did that over, you know, December, January, February, and we were kind of ready to start moving in, hopefully. And then COVID hit, and um, you know, wreaked havoc. I mean, basically, for those of you that can imagine, and like many of you, our business went to zero, or basically zero, overnight. We have this brand new 5-year lease. We've got these expenses that we brought on to remodel our office. Everything. The future of our company was up in the air, and kind of decisions to make. And you know, we decided we had made this commitment to all these new people that it was important that we push through and follow through with our plans. And although delayed 6 months, um, we are in our office, as some of you have seen as our social media. And today we are cutting the ribbon um, with Chamber of Commerce folks, and having some special guests and some really cool people from around the country that love us, have sent us presents, and you know, that maybe didn't love us enough to fly in during a pandemic, but they did send their love. And you know, big shout outs to from me to my team today at Better Beans. I don't know anybody else that's moving into office space right now. I mean, we are one of very few companies in this country that has decided to continue to invest in growth, and to grow in a office space and not home office space. So big shout outs to, you know, my partners, Jordan Woodruff, the design expert, Ted Wilcox, our sign expert and partner, Ashley, our graphic design and director of branding, and Katie Lee, our project manager. And then we also even hired another new person to head up our residential design business, and start to do a little bit of our construction side, which Nyasia has joined us. So shout out to this Better Beans team of getting this daggum office open today, and Better Beans being open for business through this pandemic. I'm very proud of them. I don't think I forgot anybody. I'm pretty sure I thanked everybody that needed to be thanked. Um, yeah. So, oh, maybe I did forget Neel. Neel, you want to come join us?
Your acting skills are terrible.
What do you mean my acting skills are terrible?
Like the sideways glance,
What sideways was this one?
the askance look. Hey, what ornate?
Did I
Ornate.
say ornate or organically?
Or spell ornate.
Ornate, Ornate, ornate.
You didn't mean ornate.
What did I say about what? I meant organic. Did I say ornate?
You said ornate.
Huh.
Ornate.
Are you sure?
Well, we can get the producers to rewind the tape later.
Yeah, I'm sure they have plenty of time.
Yeah. I don't know who they are,
Okay.
but how are you?
Listeners, if you heard me say the company started ornately, then I screwed up. And that is, you know, I like to own my mistakes. When I make them, I own them. And so I will own that. If I said ornately, I meant organically.
I
Yeah.
wish you could have screwed that up with a more higher caliber word that you couldn't spell, because that would have been a lot more fun.
Well, here we are, 9 months or 8 months, 8 months and 4 days into 2020, and that is it.
Your first mistake?
Hold on, no, not my first. 11th mistake. 11th mistake. So
1.34 per month.
Well, I still got time to only average one per month, which is pretty good. But I mean, that's going to have to be a solid September to December. It's going to have to be a really good fourth quarter.
All right.
If I only get one mistake over that time. But I guess since you're on here with a really shiny bald head and your hair's cut, while you're God, that is shiny. You should make powder that thing. I mean, that's gonna probably hurt some listeners' face.
Powder, like makeup.
Well, that's what they do. That's why you don't see those shiny things on TV shows.
Well, they don't really employ very many bald men in TV shows either. I mean,
Oh, I think they
unless you're
do.
a wrestler.
Oh, there's plenty of bald guys.
Okay.
Plenty of bald guys.
Yeah, I'll look for some powder. It'll be on my list.
Um, well, I don't want to forget you, Neel. Really, really good, really average job.
Hey, well, thank you. Thank you. It's all good.
You did a really, really, really
Hey,
thankful.
You don't have to make it up. It's all good. For our listeners out there, look, on Monday mornings, we have our regular meetings. And the first 45 minutes before the meeting is just Thad and I in the office. And it usually is preceded by lists like this. Well, you can't see because I'm on my
can't see that because it's
lists like that are pages of what's not right in the office yet. So while that list may continue, there have been a lot of checkoffs in the last 3 days. We're open. We're open.
My list should be slow when I get there today. It should be small when I get there in a few hours.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, no, Neel. All honesty, everybody. Neel did a fair job and did. And he's a good thing.
If it looks good, I promise you it was Jordan.
Everybody knows that, Neel.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that, but Neel did a great job pulling these our family in-house open house together, and this one I'm expecting great things. So if you blow it out of the water next week, I'll be talking about great job. I'll be saying great job live on air for other people to hear.
All right,
but I didn't forget you.
I know you didn't. I know that. How are you? What's going on?
Well, I'm good. I mean, I've got a back issue, which is, it came off the heels of playing 2 straight weekend golf tournaments all weekend, and then a big victory this past weekend. But I did spend 20 minutes laid flat in the fairway of a golf course after completely throwing my back out. But I had good news. I found out it's like upper back instead of lower. I know which discs are a problem, and hey, I'm on the road to recovery. I'll be back in no time.
You're supposed to stretch at your age before you play.
I always stretch.
Okay.
I always stretch.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with it, really. No. But it really has to do with how powerful my swing is. That's what he was telling me.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. Just how I'm so powerful. I'm really more powerful than my back can handle.
So you're still paying that coach for that feedback?
It was not a coach. It was a doctor, and he had a coat on and everything.
Okay.
But things that we are not going to forget are today we are setting the parameters of Alone with Neel.
We're not setting those parameters live and on a screen. That's not part of the agenda.
Yes, we are.
We didn't set that as part of our agenda.
I told you that there was going to be one section that I am talking about today, and this is it.
Yeah. You understand that I'm a member of a family, so I don't get to make all the decisions without speaking to my family.
Sorry. Well, they can be like, we can set the parameters and say that there's like one item that can be traded. But I mean, there's nothing that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Trade out item.
Let's hear what ridiculousness you have to say.
This is not ridiculousness. First off, let's set the date right now.
Okay. Well, we said that was October 19th.
Okay. So October 19th, that Monday. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
That's correct.
You will be delivered somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. And then what time would you like that to start?
I would like that to start during the sufficient daylight time so that I can find my shelter. And also, just so that it's clear, I have checked out the parameters on the show, and here's the deal: they know where they're going, generally speaking. So, like, if I
Generally
go,
speaking, you're going to go within a 3-hour drive of Atlanta, of my house.
yeah, that's fine. I need a little bit more than that.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Three
I need to know
hours.
if there's water.
There will. Well, let's just okay. Let's get this right. You will absolutely be within a half a mile of a water source.
Great. And restaurants?
Yes, 20 miles at least, probably more like 30.
Will you or people I know be nearby?
What does nearby mean?
Within a 15 to 20-minute
Drive.
drive.
Yes,
Okay.
I will be within a 20-minute drive.
Good. Emergency vehicles? I have a list to go over too, but I wasn't going to do it on our show.
Let's do it. Emergency vehicles. I mean, they'll be available just like they are across the entire United States. Airlift for sure.
We agreed no wolves.
I can't control wild animals. But generally speaking, there's no wolves within 3 hours of Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, coyotes?
Will definitely be coyotes. They're everywhere.
What other parameters? This is crazy. What other parameters are you interested in negotiating?
Well, okay, so I don't think there's much to really negotiate. I mean, there's things you can negotiate, but there's nothing really. I'm setting parameters. Period. You're going to be delivered. Let's call it. Let's call it 2 o'clock. That way we can get our meeting done on Monday morning.
That's a little late. I mean,
It doesn't get dark. Well, it'll get dark probably about 7. It'll give you about 5 hours.
All right. I
mean, noon. You want noon?
No. Okay. 2 is the max latest.
Okay. So we'll be delivering you at between noon and 2 to wherever you're going. You will be in the back of some sort of van without windows.
No, that's horse crap.
No, it's not.
This isn't pledging, brother. Yeah. I don't need to wear a hood. I don't need to.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I can ride in the front seat of somebody's vehicle.
No, you don't get to see the exit that you're getting off at. You don't get to see anything.
What am I going to do with the exit information?
Neel, you're getting no information. You are going to be, I don't want to put a hood on you, so you're going to have to be in in the back of a van. Or we can do a hood. Either one.
I'm not wearing a hood. I'm not being kidding.
Can you imagine me getting pulled over for speeding and you're in the back of the van?
I think we tried that as a practical joke once with somebody.
Okay, so yes, you're being delivered. You don't get to see where you're going. You'll be dropped off. I guess we're going to have multiple. I'm going to have to buy a camera with multiple batteries.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to buy the camera and batteries.
And a small tripod.
Yeah, and a tripod. And those I won't count those against your 10 things.
No, and the emergency kit like Band-Aids and Neosporin?
No, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Of
a
what?
First aid kit. A basic first aid kit is one of your 10 items.
No, sir.
Yeah.
You haven't I'll prove it to you. That is not countable against the 10.
We're not going directly by the rules of the show. I mean, if that was the case, then you're going out there for 6 months.
Well, no, I'm not going out for 6 months.
Well, then
We've got work to do.
This is a 2-day thing. You're going to get a small first aid kit with a couple of Band-Aids. Look, Neel, if you break something, you're going to tap out, and you'll be in a hospital within a couple hours. So I wouldn't worry about that. But I will.
That is uplifting.
What?
That a hospital is a couple of hours away.
I mean, by the time I get to you, get you to where you're going. I mean, it's going to be I'm not going to be able to drive my truck all the way up to you.
Yeah, but you're going to leave one of the side-by-sides somewhere.
No. It's going to be a hike into you.
Oh, crap.
So, yeah. I did scout some places for you yesterday, just so that I scouted some places, found some beautiful areas.
How about for next week's show, I will bring my questions because we'll have several already written down and items to show that I want to be sure that I don't want to get surprises at the last minute that, oh no, that's not an item that's allowable.
Well, we're doing that right now, the 10 items.
No, I'm not prepared for that level of research. I've got 4 ready to go. I've
Which
synced up.
four? What four are you ready with?
I have a multi-tool axe and
Okay.
shovel, which is one thing.
Okay.
I have a paracord with a emergency whistle and it comes with a flint to start a fire. The hell are you laughing at? That could scare a bear. Hey, you know, our listeners think you're being ridiculous right now.
Buddy, let me tell you, any of our listeners have been in the woods before are laughing along with me if they see you like shirtless with your t-shirt wrapped around your head, a bear coming your way, and you with a whistle in your mouth going, "Woo!"
Well, number one, I have no idea why they would see me shirtless. And that's irrelevant. But so
I'm just picturing you. What's the third thing?
the third one
That
is
counts as like two things. I mean, flint with
yeah,
cord with flint.
cord with flint. That's counts one thing. It's one object.
I'm gonna have to just rule that that was one object. But yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, I'd have to go to my Amazon site. Is a like like a hammock that you hang in a tree and you sleep up high so the bears can't get you.
Okay, that's a good choice.
And then the 4th is a tarp with some tie downs so like you can put over me.
These are all reasonable.
And then now I won't bring it, but I bought a book called "Don't Die in the Woods," which it'll arrive this weekend, and my intention is over the next 3 weeks to read it. And I'm looking into some training, but you know, we'll see. It's either that or go visit with some Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts and see if they can help me learn this quick. So that's it so far. Those are my 4. Those are my 4. And I refuse to call an emergency first aid kit.
I'm sorry.
As one item.
Let's count. That's going to count. It's going to count.
I think we should leave that to a vote.
It's only 2 days, Neil. This is not a month.
I really think one article of food should be appropriate.
No, absolutely no food. I have considered letting you bring a gallon of water.
That's a great idea.
1 gallon of water.
Yep.
No food.
There's a product called Life Straw that I'm thinking is my 5th, so that I can like bend down at a creek.
I would almost give you the Life Straw. Just take it, because I so want to see a video of you sucking water out of a dirty pond.
The video, it works.
Oh, I bet.
And listen, they have a whole product in third world countries. They ship this product to people, and you go down and you drink right out of the well, and it's clearly not the safest water. It's not Gwinnett County's sweet water right from my tap, and you're safer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen, the items will be checked off next week. The parameters are set now. You're going to get 10 items. You've already picked 4. You're going to get it. I'm responsible for the tripod. I'm going to actually I'm going to get you the first aid kit, even though it counts for you, and the camera and the batteries. You're not going to be able to see where you go. I will give you a emergency phone and backup battery. That's what you're going to get. I got to get the emergency phone and backup battery. And I'm thinking the backup battery may need to be one of your items as well. Or you can just keep your phone off because it'll work. You know what I mean? It'll work. Mm-hmm. You can pick a backup battery if that's what you want. Like if you want.
I was thinking about some landscape lighting too,
because you want to be sure. If you want to be sure that somebody will come get you. Can you imagine if that thing goes dead and I can't track you?
Well, that's your problem. You better send
my problem.
You better send a search party.
Hey, my problem. It's not my problem.
Absolutely.
Not if you don't pick a backup
You're
battery.
a producer of the show. You can't just that's not that. No.
I've already got a waiver ready for you.
I'm not signing a waiver.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Stupid. Hey, we've got branding to talk about.
What are you talking about? I'm finishing this. Now the deal is you get $2,500 if you make it, right? Through the 2 days.
It went down?
What do you mean?
It was like 5.
Huh?
That's like $50 an hour.
Okay, $5,000. $5,000 if you make it. $5,000 if you make it.
48 hours, correct?
Nothing if you tap out.
That's correct.
Yep. Okay. And a gallon of water will be allowed as one of the items.
And no sabotaging. Like you can't come up in the middle of the night and do crazy crap.
Well, I was talking with someone about this yesterday. That we should go. That maybe we, go find some roadkill and throw it out near where you're going to be, so that the coyotes do come. I don't know if you've ever heard coyotes at night when they come in a pack, and I mean it's nuts at night. I mean it's nuts. Have you ever heard a bobcat at night either?
I mean, you just sound like Darth Vader. Are you telling me the bobcat sounds like Darth Vader?
No. It's a loud scream. It scares the living crap. Makes the hairs on your arm stand up.
Oh, what about like a weapon? Like
You're welcome to bring
a gun or
no, nothing.
bow and arrow?
Bow and arrow, absolutely.
Slingshot?
Sure.
Does the ammunition count as an object and the weapon too?
It will come with a set amount of ammunition, like a bow with 5 arrows. You can retrieve the arrows.
Yeah.
Slingshot, you can use rocks.
Okay. There.
So you're gonna sleep in your hammock with a slingshot? Like,
I don't think I'm gonna sleep because I would definitely be afraid of the dark and so the deal is you probably
I'm
sleep.
praying for rain right now.
I know you do.
Every fiber of my being is praying for rain all day, and then no rain at night, so all the animals get up and move at night to eat. You know what I mean? Because they get up and move after the rain. Oh. I want dire circumstances for you. I mean, it's $5,000. It's a lot of money.
I'm sure you do.
So, yeah. There you go. So next week,
but you did not say the words, no sabotage. Say the words with me. No.
I am here to facilitate a great show for our listeners.
Okay.
I will not release a rattlesnake into your hammock. I promise. Those things climb trees, though. Can you imagine if one of those falls?
My fifth item are snake boots.
Can you imagine if a snake falls into your hammock with you in the middle of the night?
Wait. Snakes go into the trees?
Yeah, timber rattlers. Yeah. And when they don't really crawl down, they just kind of let themselves fall down. Can you imagine? I mean, can you seriously imagine that hitting you? A snake.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
No. Remember 3 fears: spiders, snakes, and dentists.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, snakes. Yeah, fifth item, snake boots.
Okay.
Or maybe a whole snake outfit.
That's fine. Yeah, snake outfit. All right, moving on.
Hey, did you mail something to one of our show listeners this week?
Oh, God, yeah. We did get Jennifer did reach out and tell me that her question we answered about scallions. She was very thankful for that. And so we mailed her an actual scallion to clear up any questions on what scallions were. She was very thankful. I mean, she I can't remember. I think she said she was in tears. She was so happy about it.
She called me and told me that her office smells like onions. Thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, she's very thankful. It was good.
Right. That's right. She was appreciative of being called.
Is she coming to our ribbon cutting today?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think Brittany is.
Brittany loves us more.
I think so too.
Hey, you.
She's bringing her new boyfriend.
I know. I thought she was going to get engaged last month.
I'm going to crush that guy.
Byron.
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 Byron. I'm gonna crush him today.
Hey, he did a good job taking her to Vegas for her birthday.
I mean, come on, man. How hard is it for single people to do a great job?
I wouldn't remember. I have no idea.
I mean, come on.
Well, yes, we'll meet Byron today. So,
There you go.
hey, did you see the XF? You remember the XFL last year?
Well, I remember it 10 years ago. I remember it last year. And
Last year's version went bankrupt, unfortunately,
yep.
but it has been purchased out of bankruptcy by another good-looking bald guy like me. His name is The Rock, and you're supposed to do this thing with your eyebrow. Can you smell
We
what The
all
Rock?
know the Rock.
Yeah, The Rock bought the XFL.
Yep.
What are your thoughts there? Is it a bad deal, bad purchase? What do you think?
Man, you know, all in the eye of the beholder right now, right? I mean, when Vince McMahon launched the second version of the XFL last year, people thought he was a genius to go compete with the NFL again. I kind of thought it was just flushing money down the toilet. And for him, it was. He flushed money down the toilet. Now, The Rock has picked it up at a steep discount. So,
Yeah, 15 million, nothing.
yeah, he bought it for nothing. However, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It may end up being a great deal, okay? But it is not for someone that doesn't have very deep pockets willing to lose a lot of money. And we'll say that for a couple of reasons. Most pro franchises don't make money. Okay, they make equity in their business. Their franchises become more valuable. But as far as cash flow, most franchises do not cash flow lots of money. And there's a reason. There's a lot of expenses that go into running a football team. You have to, especially to take care of players. And with the amount of football players kind of declining and the expectation of safety increasing, and the amount of logistical and capital you need to run a football organization, and how much money it costs to go to games and things and to try to actually make them profitable and to actually try to convince people to come to those. I don't know, man. It's just going to, I don't care what he bought the franchise for. It's going to cost so much money to get it right that it may not be worth it. So every great business, I mean, everybody wants there to be competitors with the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball. But at the end of the day, there's really only room for one. And that's kind of proven itself out over time, no matter how many competitors jump up. So is it possible that he can reach some sort of success? Yeah. I mean, I see a path to success if college football falls on its face, right? I mean, I see a path to success there. But as far as finding a path to success, maybe if Canadian football dies and but still, like,
was Canadian football ever alive?
I mean, kind of. It's alive in some areas of Canada. It's fairly popular.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's popular in Canada and maybe parts of the Northeast, but
yeah, I just don't know. Do I see some possibilities and paths to success? Yes. Do I see having to spend a ton of money to get there? Yes. Yeah, I mean, so much money, and I'm sure they're counting on owners to come in and spend that kind of money, and maybe they will. Maybe they will. I don't know. I think the pool's going to get limited, and people are going to get scared. And so
that's to say nothing of the product on the field either.
And which is going to be crappy, which was crappy.
Yeah. So, well, wish him luck, and
I hope he teaches me some valuable lessons. That would be great.
You were just talking about only room for one. Not that we're a sports show, but maybe this week we've got two sports topics. So only room for one. Did you see that minor league baseball, the affiliates that are associated with major teams are actually contracting from 160 affiliated teams across multiple divisions and leagues down to 120?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you understand the minor league system for baseball, but basically everybody's got 4 or 5 minor league affiliates. The deal is a minor league owner provides the facility, and balls and equipment and things like, or no, I'm sorry, the facility and personnel for the facility, and um, the the major league organization pays the players and provides equipment and coaches. Um, that's a pretty good little deal. But a lot of them lose a lot of money, and that takes a lot of players. So I think a Major League Baseball roster is 25 players. It's about that for each minor league team. So 6 times 25, that's 150, I think.
150 people.
150 players times 30. That's a lot of professional players, right? And a lot of people that really, to be honest with you, there's a lot of people that are not going to make it out of that group, right? I mean, the vast majority of them don't make it. So, and a lot of them lose money. So, I won't get too deep into this. A lot of minor league baseball is, some of this is the fact is Major League Baseball trying to get a little bit more control over the minor league teams. The minor league, they've closed the minor league offices in St. Petersburg, and they're going to control it from the major league offices in New York. No, minor league baseball will not die because it's the lifeblood of a lot of small communities. You're basically just getting rid of the lowest of the low teams that are out there, like the rookie league half-season teams. You're getting rid of those teams, and those guys will still train at the spring training places. So I don't think you're going to lose all that much off of it, to be honest with you. There will be some jobs in local places that get lost, but it's not going to hurt the product. They probably needed to contract a little bit. I kind of like the move. I like it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about another product that probably more relatable to every American, the U.S. Postal Service. I am fascinated by that operation. And there's a lot of discussion in the news right now about what are we going to do as a country to save the Postal Service, apart from its funding. But so you love to hear you talk a little bit about, what would you do?
If I was who?
If you were tasked with saving the post office. Or do you have any thoughts on the post office? It blows my mind that you can get a piece of mail across the world for 55 cents. Is that a cost of a stamp, 55 cents?
It's something like that. But it's amazing that you could do that for that, which is why you lose money, right? The post office is losing money. The vast majority of people that use the post office right now are actual businesses that are just advertising in the mail. So I honestly would privatize the post office if I was looking to save the post office. We don't need a post office anymore, in my opinion. Maybe we do. There's some things they do that, like passports and like stuff that are outside like the scope.
But there's just not that enough of that volume.
No, there's a lot of mail volume. I get 10, 12 pieces of mail a day. Correct?
Yeah.
And I get that there's some things like certified mail and things like that that's kind of tied into the legal system somewhat. And I get things like I don't know anything that the government does really well. Correct?
That's correct. That is something that you don't know. I'm not so sure of that.
What does the government do really well? Like, what kind of organization does the
I think they should
do well?
continue to be the FAA.
Okay. You don't think a private company could do just as well?
I think they could, but the launch to getting that launch.
There's just not very many things in the world that the government has taken over that they do exceptionally well, that they become the model of whatever. Do people want to grow up and have organizations that are as good as the U.S. Post Office or as good as Amazon?
The latter, of course.
See, I'm a capitalist. I'm not like you. I don't think the government does things better. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist. Seriously, that's what it is.
I'm not saying you were wrong, painting me wrong.
Okay, well, you just made a socialist comment.
I just said I think they should stay in control.
The government does well. You said the FAA. I don't know if the FAA does well or not. To be honest with you, I have no idea.
I think it's the safest form of travel.
What is?
Flying a plane Getting
What
an
type of
appointment.
travel?
Getting
What are our
getting
options? What are our options,
You
Neil?
can
It's not
drive.
safer than walking.
Well, I ain't walking to California.
Okay. Well, what other option do you have to get there? Driving? So saying
Drive.
it's the safest form of travel out of two
I
is
mean,
not safe.
yeah, well, we don't have to. I am saying, my
All I'm
opinion
saying
is
is
that
I think that private companies typically do everything better than those guys. I mean, I think Elon Musk is doing, space travel better than NASA. I think,
of course,
of
yeah,
course, not of course, but he is. Um,
yeah. So is Amazon or whoever, Jeff
yeah.
Bezos, and
So
yeah,
yeah, I think that private industrial people that are driven to provide opportunities to employees and driven to provide profits to pay people, and driven to drive profits to pay off investors, I think those people will end up doing a better job than any government would do. So I don't know the ins and outs enough of the post office to know what challenges we'd have. I mean, obviously all those jobs, but I would think someone like Amazon or UPS or FedEx would buy the post office and probably pay the employees fairly well,
mm-hmm.
probably comparable, just like any other acquisition, and use all the stuff they have. I mean, I think it'd be a huge purchase and probably a good windfall and something the government, the federal government doesn't really need to control. They had an awesome run. The post office was an amazing company.
The
I
Pony
mean,
Express.
I mean, the Postman movie just makes me cry. What a great movie!
No idea what that is.
You never saw the Postman? My wife hates me when I want to watch it. It was
You're
like
saying the word postman as
Postman.
opposed to postman?
Postman.
No idea.
That was the name of the movie, The Postman or The Postman, which the postman sounds like it's a guy that's standing outside by the post. This is The Postman.
Well, we
Kevin
call him
Costner.
man, but
Have you seen
sure.
that movie?
No, who is it?
Kevin Costner? Kevin Costner, you never heard of him?
Yeah, no. I mean, yes, of course, but no, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's a great movie.
All right.
Oh, it's an unbelievable movie. I may watch it tonight. I need to watch it with my kids. Good movie. People
Okay.
thought it was a bust, but I didn't think it was a bust. I thought it was a great movie.
Hey, look, Labor Day coming up. Labor Day is coming up. Celebrating the hardworking American worker. What do you got in mind for keeping good people now that unemployment is at kind of a near high, at least in the last 20 years or 10 years since the last recession? Um, you know, more specifically, recruiting good people right now.
Well, um, maybe I'll answer it a little bit different than you wanted me to. I've sat in on many valuing employees and how to take care of employees, how to reward employees, how to keep employees, and all these kind of things. And there's a lot of great people in this country and great small business owners that have great ideas for how to reward them and how to pay them and how to bonus them and how to throw parties for them and how to do small little things for them and how to make them feel special and all that kind of fun stuff. And really, man, that stuff is awesome. And I, on some level, agree with all of it. And the same thing to recruit. I mean, if whatever you do whatever you intentionally do for your employees, make sure you leverage it. Just like you would for a customer, leverage it to go recruit more. Right? I mean, that's what you should do. But I'm gonna tell you this, and this is something that I believe, and that I believe this because you've been a beneficiary of this. I think to get great people and to keep great people, and this, I don't want this to sound like this means you do nothing because I don't mean that. What you need is a leader with vision. One. And that leader needs to challenge its people every day. And they need to offer opportunities to grow. Forget all the other little trinkets and things you do and the rewards that you do. You need to challenge your people. What people want, I think it's an innate thing in human beings, is they want to be challenged. They want to be pushed. They want it to be a new adventure every day. I mean, even if when I say it's a new adventure, I mean, even if it's the grind, like they want there to be standards. They want there to be challenges. They want there to be numbers and to achieve things that they've never thought of. They don't want to just be given things out of loyalty. They want to be challenged. People want achievement. Your job as a leader, people, your job as a leader, Neel, is to allow people to achieve, to challenge them to new achievements. And that's some of the stuff I've been grinding you about lately, because you're not doing it, right? There's not measurements for some people. There's not some of these things. Well, if they're not, what are they achieving?
Mm-hmm.
We go back to the 1 minute manager. It's like the old, hey, it's like going bowling, right? I mean, and some companies just put a sheet in front of the pins and you bowl all day long, but you never know how many pins you hit down.
Mm-hmm.
And then some bosses, they stick their head outside the sheet and go, hey, you missed 2 pins. They don't tell you how many you knocked down. They just tell you what you missed. Some of them don't tell you anything. They don't even poke their head out. You just hear pins and you have no clue. You're just rolling the damn ball down the alley all the time. And some of them, sometimes they don't tell you what they hit. They just say, hey, you missed 3. Make you feel like crap. Some of them pull the screen back and they tell you what I want for you is to hit all 10. You're going to hit all 10 by throwing it down the middle. Let's see what you got. And when they do it, you go, oh, yeah, way to go. You knocked 8 down. Now, next time, if you hit that little pocket between those 2, you may get all 10. Let's see what you do. If you can knock all 10 down, I tell you what, you knock all 10 down, I'm going to give you 2 lanes next week and pay you twice what you got. You want to get great people and keep great people? Have some standards. Have some vision. Challenge your people and let there be achievement. That's what I think for this Labor Day. Off my soapbox. But anyways, I want to recap 3 great things real quick that I thought we hit on that. Well, I mean, and I think that labor thing was a great takeaway for some of you small business owners. But I got 3 things I want you to think about, okay? 3 things that we got. One thing was the rock with the XFL, okay? Remember when you're acquiring something, if you're in growth and you're going to acquire a business, really don't just think about what you're acquiring. Think about and what you're paying. Think about the real investment over the next 5 years that you're going to have to make to turn it into what you want. How much money are you going to have to really put into it? And then tell me if it's worth it. You don't just go buy go buy a house for $10,000 that you think will be worth $100,000 one day, but it's going to take $100,000 worth of work to get it there. Think about your return on your investment after you put everything into it, including your time. All right? So think about the total investment, not just your investment up front. Number 2, Major League, Minor League Baseball. Think about what they're doing a little bit. Sometimes to grow, you got to cut some fat. Sometimes to grow, you got to cut some fat. It's never a good thing because most of us small business owners, we don't want to let anybody go. We don't want to disappoint anybody, right? We don't want to do any of that. But what you do have to do sometimes is realize that you got to get rid of some parts of your business that aren't making money so that you can let the rest of your people achieve. Sometimes you have to contract to grow. Be smart about it, but understand that. And let's talk about the post office. Look, man, you've heard me for like 3 straight weeks tell you, like right now during this time, you either need to be growing or you need to be going. You need to be growing your business or selling your business. You need to be getting out. Can the post office grow? No, they can't. They can't. They're not capable. They don't have the type of talent that FedEx and Amazon and UPS and some of these guys of the world have. They don't have that kind of talent working in their company. Not consistent. They have great people. Don't get me wrong. They have some amazing people. They don't have as many amazing people, and they can't attract as many amazing people as these private companies do. If you can't and you're stuck, you're still valuable. Someone would pay a lot of money for the post office, right? So if you're worth a lot and you can't grow, how can you make your business look as valuable as it can be so that you can sell? Go back and watch a podcast I have with Kathy Ligon to get that. But anyways, those are my 3 takeaways from our talk today, Neel. I don't know if I just wanted to highlight those for our folks. But Those are what I had. That and you using a straw to suck stream water. I mean, those are my biggest takeaways. Can't wait for that. So, anyways, hey, good luck with the ribbon cutting today, Neel. I will see you in a little bit. Thanks for joining us, and sorry I forgot about you earlier in the call, but have a great week, my friend.
See you soon.
See you, buddy. Hey, now it's time for your favorite part as of What That Thinks. It is the What That Thinks episode. Hey, I visited a church this week, live in person, 2 weeks in a row. And new church, and new pastor, and new place to sit, all that kind of fun stuff. But the pastor said something this week that has resonated with me all week long. And I think it's an awesome lesson for all of you personally, spiritually, but also for your business. And the pastor said, hey, look, in life, you're kind of in like three places, right? You're either in a storm, you are exiting a storm, or you're about to go into a storm. And that's kind of how life and business goes. You're either in it right now, you just came out of it, or you're going into one. And I think as you strategically plan your life or strategically plan your business, you've got to think about that. I mean, I don't know why it was so profound to me. Maybe it'll reach one or two of you. But I love this, and it made me kind of look at my strategic plan for my businesses right now. And I came away kind of like with four quick thoughts and how this will help you. Okay. So number one is you need to identify where your business is right now. Are you entering a storm? Are you about to go into one? Are you in the storm right now, or are you just coming out of a storm? You can't really take the action steps you need to until you identify exactly where you are right now. Number two is, what defense should you be playing? Now, I thought about it. I probably should have put offense first, but since we may be in the storm right now, I don't know why I decided to say defense first. Maybe it's my old football coach in my blood, my football coaching in my blood. Even though I love offense, put together a good defense, you're not going to lose many games. Shout out to Bob Petchel out there, Kathy's husband, defensive coordinator, University of Virginia. Anyway, shout out to him. But what defense should you be playing? Now, we went back to some classes I was teaching over a year ago about getting recession ready. But what defense should you be playing if you're going into a storm? If you're about to, it could be as simple as you're going to lose 10 employees, or, a competitor's opening up across the street. Whatever it may be, whatever you're getting ready to go into or in or out of, and maybe this could be a whole class. What defense do you need to be playing? What cash do you need to be saving? What bills should you be paying off? What lines of credit should you be opening? These are defensive moves for your company, and you need to know where you are so you can line those up. The third one is, what offense should you be playing and executing? Hey, man, look, if you're going to, it doesn't matter where you are on those. Should you be looking to buy a competitor? Should you be looking to build a new store? Should you be looking to remodel, rebrand? Should you be, spending on new employees? Should you be spending on your existing employees? What offense should you be playing? What marketing should you be spending? What are you doing to grow your company? What are you going to be doing to grow your company? What are you going to be doing because of this storm? What are you going to be doing? What offense? Where are you? That was number one. What defense should you be playing right now, depending on where you are? And what offense should you be playing? And the last one is, look, have all your plans ready for all three stages. If you have a good plan, your budgets, your expenditures, your offensive plan, your defensive plan, if you have all those ready, it doesn't matter what comes. The storm can be coming. You can be leaving the storm, or you could be on smooth waters outside the storm just exiting. But if you have a good plan and you're always working those three plans, there won't be any panic. You know what comes from that? Great leadership. You want to be that great leader? have your plans on those. Anyway, that's what Thad thinks today. Excited for open house this afternoon. I want to thank all of your listeners. Please review us. We need some good updated reviews. Give me a good review if you liked us. Leave a couple of comments. We would love that. Remember, Better Beans Branding. Your remodels, your redesigns, your new builds, all of that. We have the experts. We know small business. We'd love to be able to help you out. Check us out at betterbeansbranding.com. We'd love to help you. Thank you so much for joining us, and I am out.